y'all, welcome back to the channel. If you didn't know, just by watching my content, pink is one of my favorite colors. I literally have a pink phone case, pink microphone, pink coffee cup sitting right next to me. It is literally one of my favorite colors. To me, it represents pure femininity and just girliness, and I absolutely love it. And regardless of what some people in our community say about pink, it is a very metal color. And if you don't believe me, then you can ask any of the metal bands I'll be talking about today why they chose pink as their vinyl color. Today I'm going to show off every single pink vinyl that I have in the collection. I'm really excited to share these bands with you. Now I'm going to kind of go quick because girl, the stack is fat. Okay, so there's a lot of bands in here. I do recommend that you check each and every one of them out. Some of them you're already going to be super familiar with, but without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about my pink vinyl. As I said, we're going to kind of go quick. So the first one to start us off is going to be Undeath and their third studio album, More Insane. I did rate this about like a 7.5. This album absolutely rips, still slaps, not as good as their second studio album. So this is their third record. It came out last year, but girl, let me show you the damn vinyl. Okay, this thing, gorgeous, gorgeous. Absolutely love it. It's kind of this like fleshy pink, almost like one of those Mexican fruit popsicles that you kind of get, where it's just like natural fruit flavored or something like that. Really, really love it. This is a solid record, and I highly recommend that you check it out. Next, we have Leprosy by Death. I believe this is their second studio album, if I'm remembering correctly. We've been going through the entire Death discography on my Twitch on Wednesdays, and it's been really, really fun. So this is a repress from Relapse Records, and the colored vinyls are around like $23 US. They do have the black ones, but the colored versions are so pretty. So this one's basically like cotton candy. So I know like this side is mostly blue and white, but it's this side that is pink, blue, and white with some gold in there. So it's very cotton candy and just kind of yummy looking. I don't know. Some of these vinyls, girl, they're kind of yummy looking, but this record, classic. And I do think it's better than Scream Bloody Gore. Massacre is next. So this is their debut record from 1991. From Beyond, their Floridian death metal. And this is pretty much their one and only good album. Promise is next up on the list for me to listen to. I know some of y'all are cringing in your seats, but this one is more of like a darker marbling, like a darker pink. It's a pink black marble, so freaking pretty. Is pressed from Earache, but this is labeled as like a pink record, even though I would classify this more as like maybe like a darker magenta. But I mean, that's still gorgeous. Like, come on, like it's so classy. How could you not like this? This record is super good, super fun, super groovy, and yeah, I like this record. It's a classic. So we're going to get into some Cannibal Corpse vinyl. Now I do have an entire two-part discography dive documentary series on Cannibal Corpse and their entire catalog. So you can see my like actual reviews and the entire vinyl collection for this band. I'll link it to this video, but we're going to start with Butchered at Birth, which I'm just going to put the censored cover up here because YouTube does not like some of these covers from Cannibal Corpse for obvious reasons, but it's about the vinyl at the end of the day. And like, girl, come on. How can you say that pink is not a metal color when literally one of the most brutal like Cannibal Corpse albums is this color? I mean, you look at the cover of this record, Butchered at Birth, and you're like, yes, queen, slay. So absolutely obsessed with this color. It is literally one of the most perfect pink vinyl colors, although The next record, a few records I'm going to show you, girl, they're even better than this one, which I didn't think would be possible. And we got Eaten Back to Life. So I did do these out of order, but that's okay. I might be able to show you this one. Boom, there you go. Eaten Back to Life. And here is the vinyl color. So it's definitely more of like a solid kind of, it looks more red, but it is labeled as kind of this like pink color. But this is more like a watermelon or a cherry kind of candy color. That's, or like one of those like pink Jolly Ranchers or red Jolly Ranchers. That's kind of the color of this vinyl. Also a classic. So now we have Bloodthirst, which I'm just going to show the censored cover for. But this particular vinyl is also gorgeous. So what I love about it is it's this like baby pink marbling with these like black streaks, and then you have some of these darker magenta streaks throughout it, and I just think it's so pretty. It is such a gorgeous marbling color, and yeah, I'm obsessed with it. Bloodthirst is a banger too, girl. And the next one I'm going to show you, Kill. Both of these records slap. I do remember putting Bloodthirst in S tier in my Cannibal Corpse tier list, and I think a lot of people sleep on this record. Don't sleep on this record, girl. Okay, she's all killer, no filler. Kill. I can actually show you because it's a very simple album cover. Pestilence could take note. You're welcome. But this album still slaps. And let me just tell you. I know. This is better. This is better than even like Butchered at Birth. Like, this honestly is my favorite, one of my favorite vinyl, like pink vinyl in the collection, period. Like, look how freaking gorgeous that is. The most yummiest, babyest pink you could find on this planet Earth, and it is so freaking gorgeous. It literally reminds me of like strawberries and cream or something along those lines. Like, I love it. I'm obsessed. Don't ever let anybody tell you that pink is not a metal color, okay? So now we're going to talk about a mellow death band. We're still kind of talking about the death metal here, but we picked up this copy of Argent Moon from Insomnium. This is their EP from 2021. And girl, let me show you this vinyl. Is she not just like a goth babe? Like, is this just not a goth girl? Like, we love her so much. So it's black with pink and blue splatter. Perfection. I mean, this is, yeah, absolute perfection. I love this EP so much. Insomnium is just gorgeous all around. They're such a beautiful mellow death band, and I love it. It's beautiful sad boy music, perfect for road trips, perfect for cold fall or winter days. You really can't go wrong with Insomnium. So this is a gorgeous, gorgeous vinyl. So now we're going to get into the kind of grindcore, noisecore vinyl that we have in the collection, starting with arguably one of my favorite records of all time for the sheer trollness of it, and that is Picnic of Love from AXCX. I love this album to death. This record is not for the faint of heart. This record is 1000% for the goofy troll in you when you want to just feel like laughing and just having a good time and not taking the music seriously. Picnic of Love is that girl from AXCX. This is absolutely the most Valentine's Day of Valentine's Day albums. Not only is this the most feminine, girliest, like total mean girls, Regina George metal vinyl, okay? Look at this freaking, so it says AXCX, because I can't say their name on YouTube, Picnic of Love, and then on the other side it's got their band logo. But what makes this record so feminine and so girly, and I love it so much, is that the first like inch of the vinyl, it has hearts etched into it on both sides. So you actually, like, the record starts like here, and it's great. It's great. It's so girly. I highly recommend that you listen to this album at least once in your life. It is not going to be what you are expecting at all. If you know AXCX, this is not going to be what you expect at all, but definitely it's worth it, especially for the last song when Seth Putnam just really like lets it rip. I mean, this album, if it was like seriously re-recorded or just like taken seriously from the beginning, like the songs on here would actually slap and be bangers, because there's some great lyrics in here. There's some great little choruses, and the acoustic guitar is recorded super, super well. So highly recommend Picnic of Love from AXCX. This next one is a classic. This is Napalm Death's debut from 1987, Scum. I absolutely love this record. Napalm Death, early grindcore, you know the biz. This record has a gorgeous pink vinyl, just like the Kill one, but this is just like straight up baby pink. Literally kind of matches my shirt. Freaking love it. Gorgeous, especially for how raw and intense this record is. This album features one of my favorite songs of all time, and it's You Suffer, and it's literally a second long, but in my opinion, like, I know it's just 1 second long, but the lyrics go so hard. You suffer, but why? I can't tell you how much I just love those lyrics, because they're so simple, but they just have so much meaning behind them. So I do want to dive into more of Napalm Death, because I just like the history of this band. But yeah, Scum. Phenomenal record. Next up is going to be Dirge from Wormrot. This is their second full-length album from 2011. Wormrot is a Singaporean grindcore band, and this record focuses more on their experimentation with grindcore and death and thrash elements. I have an entire deep dive on Wormrot, which you should definitely go check out, because their fourth record, which I'm forgetting the name of, I literally have it back there, but that record is super cool because it's like got a gel cover and everything. But I will link that deep dive in here for you. But look at this hot pink color, girl. It looks a little more like darker highlighter on your screen, but in person this is like sheer freaking hot highlighter pink, like so much of like the classic highlighter pink that you would use in like school or something. So I think it's a perfect contrast for how this record sounds instrumentally. It's very aggressive. It's very short. Wormrot is not a band that you should sleep on, especially because they are from Singapore, which is a much smaller country, and it's very difficult for their bands to get out. So the fact that like Wormrot is as popular as they are is really, really cool. So I will continue to support Wormrot. All right, this next one is a reissue that came out last year that did make waves among some of the other metal YouTubers that are big collectors on the scene. And this is the Hemdale and Exhumed split, which this originally came out in 1996. It is called In the Name of Gore, and it was originally released on CD. So this ended up being pressed for vinyl last year and released in 2024. And this is such a cool split because it came out 2 years prior, before gore metal, before, you know, Exhumed's debut record. And so it's just really cool to kind of hear early Exhumed before they really took off and got started. Hemdale is also a really great death grind band, but Exhumed is awesome. Definitely a guilty pleasure. I love them, and I really, really want to see them live again and just kind of do a deep dive. So, I mean, look at this record. Need I say more? Need I say more of how, like, I just see, like, punk girl, punk hardcore girl, like Avril Lavigne levels of hotness. Avril Lavigne levels of hotness in this vinyl, 1000%. So love the cover, love the music on here. It's gore grind, death grindcore, that whole thing. So if you're into that genre, bestie, then you should definitely check out this Hemdale and Exhumed split. It is again called In the Name of Gore. So I recently talked about this band in my Metal Monday stream, but this is Deteriorate and their 1993 debut, Rotting in Hell. This is death metal. Great record. Super fun. I highly recommend this record. I couldn't exactly pinpoint like what this band reminded me of, but Deicide is definitely one of the bands. Like Glenn Benton's like layered demon vocals that he's so well known for. You can hear that inspiration in this record, but it's cool because again, this came out in 1993. So it's right around when Deicide was kind of starting as well, but look at this. So it is a little bit more dark. It's this black and kind of royal maroon magenta color. It is so like, I don't know, Resident Evil. It's very royal, and it kind of makes me think of maybe like Daenerys Targaryen or like Cersei. Like, I don't know why I'm so visual with things like that. So this just feels almost like vampiric or something like that. Very royal, very regal, very demure, you know? But yeah, there you go. This is a great record. Highly recommend. Again, that's Deteriorate and their 1993 debut, Rotting in Hell. All right, so now we're going to get some coffee, actually. So now we're going to get into a couple of the blackened, death, thrash, crossover bands that I have on this list, starting with Abigail. And this one in particular is called Intercourse and Lust, which is their debut record from 1996. We call this the Octopussy record. Go listen. Go listen to this record. That's all you're going to get from the album cover, okay? Abigail is great. As I said, they're a blackened thrash crossover kind of band from Japan. The main person behind Abigail is Yasuyuki Suzuki. He also does Barbados. He also does Orgasm 666. I have a whole video on Yasuyuki Suzuki. It's called The Horniest Man in Metal. I will link it to this video. Definitely go check it out, because not only is he an amazing musician and artist, and he's just so he loves women. He loves especially American women and like the stereotypical American blonde girls with like, you know, big honkers and like the, you know, 80s like centerfold women from like Playboy. Like that is so up his alley. So much of his shtick is like the 80s Playboy centerfold girls, and I love it so much. So let's just get it out of the way, girl. Like, can we talk about this? Reminds me so much of the Scum vinyl. It's basically the same color, but this is a little bit more baby pink. Matches my shirt a little bit more. So you know, already more brownie points, but it's just a perfect record. This entire album is super fun, and it's Abigail. I really don't have anything else to say other than just go listen to this. So this is Lust, Intercourse and Lust is what it is. So I have another Abigail record. This is their 5th studio album from 2009, and it is called Sweet Baby Metal Slut. There's your look at it briefly. So as you can see, there's pink used in the cover, but this is the record. Look at that. It's got white and like silver speckles in it, so it's totally the album cover essentially, but in a vinyl. So again, Yasuyuki Suzuki delivers. What I love about this vinyl too is instead of them saying like side A or side B or like front and back, they just have like the front of the girl, like her the front of a girl, a woman, the bikini. And then on the back, it's your booty. So it's literally a visual front and back, which I think is really cool. As I said, Yasuyuki Suzuki, very, very horny man, loves the ladies, but he also makes dank-ass music. So make sure you go check it out. This one's Sweet Baby Metal Slut. This next one is a classic for sure. Not his best record, but this is King Diamond and his The Graveyard album from 1996. This is his 7th studio album. If you don't know King Diamond, what rock have you been living under? But this is, yeah. This is an album, like I said, it's not as good as like Them or Conspiracy or The Puppet Master, but that's okay. It's labeled as neon pink with purple as like a splatter vinyl, and I don't know if I necessarily see the pink. I mean, I do, but I do think that it's a little bit more like purple, but you know, because it says it's pink, we're putting it in here, okay? I'm not saying it's not a pretty color, bestie. I mean, but this is definitely more of like a moodier kind of pink, you know? Very classic to, you know, it very much follows like the whole vibe of the album cover, which is what you want. But this is a concept record, of course. And I'm still a little confused about like what the concept is. I tried to find it online. But it's like got something to do with, I think, like a ghost and a haunting, of course. It's the graveyard. But yeah, eventually I'll do the King Diamond discography dive and we'll kind of see what this is about more in that, I guess. This next one is a thrash heavy metal crossover band, kind of like Abigail, but this is Black Uniforms and their 1989 one and only full-length album called Faces of Death. This is basically a Swedish band. I love the heavy reverb on the vocals. I thought that this was a really good listen. A good kind of like background music. But check out this record, girl. Now, she looks more solid on camera, but she is kind of more, she's more marbled, like up close. There's kind of like some darker pink swirls in here, which is really nice. But yeah, really, really like this record. And it's just a high octane joyride from a band with great hair. Next up, I wanted to talk about this band Nausea. This is their 1990 record Extinction, and I really like this record. I thought it was fun, good background music. I'll show you the record. It's more of like a transparent baby pink record, so it looks a lot more solid on camera, but this is super see-through. You can't tell, but it's super see-through when you put it up against like other stuff in real life. But yeah, it's just a gorgeous, very solid baby pink record, and I really like it. So this band Nausea, as I said, really liked it, and it is more of this like kind of, it is more of this crust punk band, and it kind of reminds me of a game, like I'm forgetting like which game kind of has this art style, but it's reminding me a lot of that, where it's like all black and white and it's a little bit more creepy. Is it called like Little Monsters or something? I don't know. But it kind of reminds me of that art style. All right, you guys, that is going to do it for today's video on all of my pink vinyl records. I really hope that you enjoyed this video and possibly got some new band recommendations. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I really hope that you check out some of these bands if you haven't already, because I do think that they are worth your time. Do you like colored vinyls, or are you more of a black vinyl person? Do you care, not care? Do you like picture discs? Like, what's your thought on colored vinyls, and what's your thought on pink vinyls. Do you like pink being in the metal scene? I do, obviously. So thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more exclusive content from me, you can head over to my Patreon. I have 3 tiers over there. I offer a lot of exclusive content over there, including a back catalog of all of my Twitch listening parties, as well as my Raw Reaction series where I dive into full-length albums. So if you want to check out some more, you can definitely go to my Patreon and see if it's right for you. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, you guys.